unfortunately. Hey, welcome, welcome. I am live now on all three platforms, and we're about a minute to the top of the hour. So I thought I'd get on early. Hello, William. Good to see you here. Happy to have you here. Swiss Miss, good evening to you. Good afternoon to those that are in the afternoon space right now, or good morning if it happens to be morning. I don't know who that might be. Maybe some folks in different parts of the world. Nonetheless, we are here to talk about setting up, running, and growing a business, mostly really creating a business online. We do have a number of questions that were submitted in advance. And what I will be doing is I will be addressing those questions at about the halfway mark. So we've designed the special event today where I'm going to deliver approximately 15 minutes of content, and then we'll have approximately 15 minutes of Q&A. And I do want to let you know that we've been doing these events on a fairly regular basis, and we do absolutely plan to run another one. Actually, we're going to run 3 next week, and we've selected some topics, so stay connected to us. What I do suggest is if you really want to be connected with us, then join our morning manifestation videos. We have 3 of them that we send out every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We also post them online. But if you want to be subscribed where you'll get a notification that a new one is out, that's totally free. There's no charge for it. And it's really all designed around helping you create more of the good things that you desire to have in your life. So be sure to sign up for those, morningmanifestation.com. And that's where you can get registered for that. So today we're talking about a business. And hey, looks like Heather just joined me. Hey, Heather, I just came back from the mailbox and I picked up your book. It's on my desk here somewhere. I'm trying to clean off my desk so it doesn't look so, there we go. Here we are, Angel Grandma, Heather Lean. Let's do a little plug for Heather on the line right now. And she's one of my wonderful clients who's in my author program. Very blessed to serve her. This is her incredible book. It's beautiful. I just picked it up from the mail like 2 minutes ago. So thank you, Heather. I really appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to, I've read your book, obviously. It's a wonderful children's book and endorsed it. Hey, I see my endorsements on the back. That's pretty cool. But I'm really looking forward to sharing this with many other people as well. All right, let's talk about business, and let's talk about you starting a business. And many of you know, hey, thanks, Natalie. Many of you know that I incorporated my business 25 years ago. And if you don't know, now you do, right? So it was in 1994. It was December the 20th in 1994 that I incorporated my business. It's called Dynamic Destinies, Inc. And I just want to talk about, a lot of people, they wait until they're really ready, or they have this thing called ducks in a row before they start their business. And I know one of the questions that was asked is, did I have a business plan before starting my business? And actually, I did have a business plan. And the reason why I wrote a business plan is because I was told that's what you need to do. And as much as it is a wonderful exercise to really think about the business and to really establish your brand and your revenue model and all of that, I don't think it's absolutely essential to start a business. And the reason why I say that is I've seen a lot of people, and I've worked with a lot of people. I've coached and mentored a lot of people who have had a desire to create either a source of income or multiple sources of income, following something that they're passionate about by either leaving their day job, or they might have been stay-at-home parents or people that may have retired and they really wanted to create a subsidization for their income. And so I've helped people establish businesses by just coming up with one idea and launching it to the world. And that can be done online or offline. Nowadays, it's pretty much businesses are being operated online. And if you don't have an online presence, regardless of the business, then people don't take a business very seriously anymore. So even if your business is a store or a shop of some sort, still important to have an online business. But there's so many important aspects about a business. And I sort of group this into 3 categories: the before you start the business, when you're building your presence online or offline, and then the after, and that's the growth part of your business, the scaling part of your business. So let's talk about them in 3 parts. So let's first talk about the preparation of opening up a business. And I believe where this really starts, or a great place to start, is with desire. And that actually is a foundational place to start for anything. And desire is really something that's like the fuel in your gas tank. It's going to get you going and keep you going as well. And also when you're connected to your outcome, like your goals of whatever it is that you want to do with your business or with your life, and it's connected to your passion, then the desire is even stronger. So let's use an example. I started my business in December 1994, and the desire was to help people to create wonderful results in their life, because I had created wonderful results at that point from the extensive study that I had done up to that point. And so I wanted to help other people to create their extraordinary lives, to get out of emotional pain, to get past their past, get past your past, and to really find genuine love, to create riches in their life, to buy their dream home, to do whatever it is that they wanted. So that was originally the desire for starting my business. Now, at that time, I was not an author. I was not teaching people how to create a business, but I had a lot of experience in the business world, but I wasn't trained. I did not have formal education in starting a business or anything like that. My parents were not entrepreneurs, but the desire was there. And that's important. And sometimes that's all you need. All you need. It's just a great place to start. You can come up with a name for your company and then go register that company and establish it as a business name. Nowadays, what's important, because back then I incorporated or registered dynamicdestinies.com, destinies.com, and they were some of the domain names that I registered back in the early days of the World Wide Web, which I still own to this day, by the way. And so nowadays, if you're thinking of starting a business, the business name does not have to be the same as the product. The business name doesn't have to be the name of books if that's something that you're looking to create. You can come up with any business name. You don't necessarily need a website that is the exact match for the business name either. And it really depends on what you're doing. So if you're an expert, an entrepreneur, or an author, and you're looking at establishing your business, it could be your name. So I mentioned Heather Lean. Heather Lean she's also an attorney. That's something that she does. She practices. She's written this book, Angel Grandma. She's working on a series. She's working on other things. So what would be a great name for her to have? And I don't know if Heather has it. She can maybe tell me because she's connected here with us right now live, is I would see if I could register my name as a domain name. And then everything that I do beyond that. So for example, Heather Lean is a name that's probably common. And Heather, do you have that domain name? Let me just see if she actually has that domain name. So let's say Heather has the domain name heatherlean.com, or she goes to look for it and she discovers that somebody else has the domain name, but yet her middle name is Ann. So Heather Ann Lean. And I actually don't even know what Heather's middle name is. I'm just guessing at this point. So if it was me, what I would do is I would try and register my name. And if I couldn't find my name, I might register maybe a variation of it. So it might be my first name, middle name, and last name. It could be something like that. Or what I've seen a lot of other people do is if their name is a very common name, in other words, it was taken decades ago, then they may use the AndersHansen.com or the BobSmith.com. And I've seen people do that, or BobSmithAuthor.com. And, but either way, if the brand that's being built is going to be around you as an expert, as a speaker, as a coach, as an author, as an entrepreneur, whatever it is, yes, you could register your name as a domain name. Also, you may have more than one domain name. I actually have about 700 domain names. And the reason why I have so many is because I'm constantly thinking up new ideas. I registered 2 today. And one of the ones that I registered today is manifestationshow.com and manifestationpodcast.com, because we're going to be starting a podcast in March. And therefore, I grabbed those names. Will we be using them? Maybe, don't know. And I also have the peggyshow.com. So there's a lot of different domain names, variations. They don't cost a lot to register. You can decide if you're going to re-register them next year. I always register domain names for 1 year at a maximum, no longer than that. And but I have so many ideas for businesses and products and services. One of the things that I'm intending to do with my domain names down the road is actually auction them off or sell them off as a business idea, because I see business ideas in each of them, and I know how to grow a business, scale a business, and create revenue models and marketing strategies for businesses. And speaking of that, before you actually establish a business, remember, we're talking about three parts: the before you establish a business, when your business is actually being, the doors are opening for the world to see, and then the after part, which is the scaling. And of course, as I mentioned at the beginning of this call, I'm doing this rather rapidly because we're doing about 15 minutes of this, and then we're going to questions. And we have a lot of questions that have come up so far. As a matter of fact, I see Marcy's question here on YouTube. Great question, Marcy. Thank you for asking. And she says, how would you choose a business name? I'm an author, aspiring speaker, and I have name ideas, but not sure if it would make sense within the beam. Yeah, I chose my business name just by thinking of, I wanted a strong name, something that represents everything that I do. So if that represents everything that you do within the beam, if that's something that makes sense for you, that sure, you could use that name. That's probably fine. As I said, most people don't even know what your company name is. The same thing with me. A lot of people don't know what my company name is. Sometimes when people register for my programs and then they see their statement on their credit card and it says Dynamic Destinies. So I remind them, I'll put it on my website. It's in our autoresponders. It's in their receipts. So they'll see the name and hopefully they'll put the two and two together. So those are things to think about actually afterwards. All right. So when you're starting a business, think of a name for the business, as you get a URL for the business, and then think, what do you want to do? What's the business? What would you like to offer? And that's pretty much where you need to start. Do you need to do a whole business plan? No, I don't think it's absolutely necessary. I do believe you should get a mentor, though, if you want to shave off a truckload of time and save you a whole lot of money and get to that place of generating revenue fast. So getting a mentor is something that I would recommend that you do. I actually offer mentoring as well, if that's something you're interested in. We have spots that come up every once in a while. You can just email my support team, support@peggymccall.com. I'm not cheap, though, but cheap things aren't good and good things aren't cheap. So it's an investment, and I've invested in myself probably to the tunes of millions of dollars. Then when you establish your business and you're going to create your presence online, you've got to create that identity, that brand. What do you want people to know you for, know you as, benefit-oriented kind of things? What's your unique selling proposition? How are you going to be different from everybody else that's out there in the world? And you can't be everything to everyone. And I remember one time hearing a business strategist say the following. He said, if you're trying to be everything to everyone, you'll be nothing to no one. So create your niche, right? You've probably heard that term, niche or niche, however you want to say it. So for me, when I established the company, I was in the niche of helping people fulfill their destiny. And I was doing it through goal achieving workshops, and then expanded. And that's the thing you also have to remember. It's your business. You can grow it. You can scale it. You can change it. If you start doing something, you don't like to do it, change it later. But it's important to really have that foundation established before you actually open the doors of your business, where you're thinking about, well, what do I want to create? Now, nowadays, it's very different today, 2020, to what it was in 1995 when I first got online and started marketing online. And websites back in the 1990s were more like brochures. I was actually one of the first websites online that was selling products. I actually paid someone to program a shopping cart for me so that I could sell my books, my programs, my mentoring services. And so it was different. And back then it was almost like a license to print money in the beginning, because there weren't a lot of people doing it. Nowadays, there's a lot more people. They're a little more savvy. I teach people how to create an online business called A Million in a Month. You can go to amillioninamonth.com. You can get our quick study guide. It's a gift. It's a book that you can download and you can read. We also do a webinar, and then it'll lead you or invite you to invest in yourself and join our program called A Million in a Month. And so all of that, how funnels, the funnels is a word that's very common now, commonplace online. How funnels are set up online is through a process, a very well thought out strategic process. So when you're going to open the doors as well, you want to have everything ready so that you have some funnels set up, that you're capturing email addresses, that you've got a presence online, and you don't have to do this all at once. You can scale it and you can grow it, right? Online presence as well in the social media platforms is important too. And then as far as just keeping in line with the time here. Hey, wonderful. Thank you. The Clutter Bee says, it just went through the program, $1 million a month, and launched my first program. Well, congratulations to you. That's wonderful. All right. And then the third part of what I really wanted to just quickly give you an overview of is extending the business or scaling the business and growing it afterwards. And this is where I tend to attract a lot of people. They've established themselves online. They're not getting any business, or they've got a desire to do something online, but they don't even know where to begin. And so that's what $1 million in a month was really designed to do, is help people get their businesses online established. Either it's a service-based business or a information type of business, like a program, as we heard just a moment ago. And then once the business is out there, you've got to really be conscious and conscientious and paying attention to what's working and what's not. And if you're not getting the results that you want, I actually got an email yesterday from one of my clients saying, that they've established a presence online, they're looking to grow their business, and they wanted to know why it wasn't working. And sometimes the reason why it's not working is because the messages aren't clear. They're not asking people to do anything like, here, click here, sign up here, register for my free webinars, or whatever it is that they're doing. And then when people do, or if they invite people to sign up, then there's no follow-up and there's no really building of relationships. And nowadays it's really important to build relationships, because if you're an authentic person, if you're an authentic, honest, heart-centered person, not everybody knows that. Right. And what happens is when you get out there online and people start to see you and you're visible to the world, they'll get to know you. They get to know you and like you and trust you. And that's an old saying, that people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. But nowadays, even more so, people are a little more cautious. And the reason for that is because there's a lot of slippery people, if you will, dishonest people who have shown up online because they recognize, oh my goodness, this is a huge opportunity to make boatloads of money. And then they did things that were not honest, ethical, or above board. And so people have been scammed. And so people are aware of that. There's a lot of scamming going on online. And so you want to be out there so that people really get to know your heart, know who you are, get to love you and trust you, and then want to do business with you. And they can see your genuine sincerity of the material, of the work, general caring of other people. And frankly, if you don't care about other people, if you don't genuinely want to help other people, it's going to be a struggle. I remember years ago, my friend and mentor, Bob Proctor, said, fall in love with helping people. And that is a very important message for any entrepreneur. You want to fall in love with helping people. But even though you may not have been trained in marketing or sales or business school or whatever, it's still absolutely possible to create a phenomenally successful business that's producing 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 figures in business. And I know that because I've done it myself, and I've worked with a lot of other people and have colleagues and friends and associates that have done it as well. So make sure that you also really pay attention to your own beliefs and get out of your own way so that you can create phenomenal success. Okay, so that was rapid fire. Of course, we've recorded this so you can watch it again. A lot of great little tidbits in here. We've got a lot more information. Of course, $1 million in a month goes into extensive detail about establishing a business online, what the right mindset is required in order to do that. And you can check that out again at $1millionamonth.com. Now, we've had a number of questions that have come in for this call because it was announced. And I've got, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions that I'm going to go through in the next 23 minutes, or pardon me, what would that be? 13 minutes. Is that right? Yeah, 13 minutes. Okay, so no problem. I can do it. I have faith. Okay, the first question is from Sharon Hendry, Art and Design. And Sharon says, well, there comes a time when, after doing most of the groundwork, having an online business requires outside help to manage the business, particularly the technical aspects. Can you share at what point when starting out you hired someone else to assist, and what role did they play in promoting your online business? Great question. First of all, there's different roles that people play in your business, and the promotion is absolutely essential. And here's something that I've learned. I want you to really listen to this. This is absolutely critical. No one is going to care more about your business than you. All right. Now, I remember years ago, I called my brother one day and he was working on some investment stuff. And I said, "What are you doing, Bobby?" And he said, "Oh, I'm just working on some investment things." And I said, "What do you mean?" Because Bobby and I used to share books and we're both into the same subject area. And he said, "Well, what he did was he set up what he called a dummy account or a mock-up account, investment account. And even though he is a financial advisor, a guy who takes care of his money, he wanted to see whether he could do a better job of managing his money than his guy." And I said, "Well, isn't your guy doing a great job?" He goes, "Yeah, he is doing a great job, but I just want to check to see if he's doing as effective as he can." And I said, "So what did you find?" And he said, "Well, actually, I could have earned more if I had have done certain things like myself," because Bobby was studying this. And I said, "Oh, that's fascinating that you're doing that." I said, "What caused you to even think to do that?" And he said the following. He said, "Nobody cares more about my money than me." And I thought, wow, he's absolutely right. And as an entrepreneur, I thought the same thing. No one's going to care more about my business than me. No one's going to care more about my book than I am. And so I think it's important that you know that. So when you're looking to get someone else to promote your business, I would look for people that have absolutely proven that they know how to get results. So the question was asked, at what point did I bring somebody on board? Well, I brought somebody on board in the beginning to design my website because I knew how to do it, but I'm not really technically inclined. I could have done it myself, yes, because I taught myself, self-taught. It was all programming back then. It was HTML programming, but I learned how to do it. And so I would hire someone to do the internet stuff. However, I'd be cautious. First of all, I'd go to $1 million in a month. I highly recommend that. First, learn the program, and you'll see that there's a lot that you can do on your own nowadays with all the funnels and the templates and everything that's set up. So where I began was by hiring someone to take care of some technical stuff. And as I mentioned a moment ago, I hired someone to actually program a shopping cart for me because I had no idea how to do that. So I hired someone to do that. And then in 2000, around 2001, I hired a personal assistant, and I had a personal assistant working with me. But pretty much the people that I brought on board to help me in my business have been consultants. I don't have a lot of employees. I have a few, but I don't have a lot of employees. And so I suggest that you can grow your business slowly. And I was actually investing more money in the help that I was bringing on long before the business had even been established. Okay, so let's go to the next question here. It's a question from A1MS Jackson. And the question is, what are the most popular items to sell online? How much inventory should I start with? Well, it depends on what you want to do online, but inventory I'd be very cautious with. Information is one of the top selling products online, hence the reason why we created $1 million a month. And anybody can sell information and share information and produce information. You can sell other people's information as well. So one of the things, it's $1 trillion industry, by the way, the online industry. One of the things that you can do, and a very easy way to get into the online world, is to become an affiliate for someone else. And we offer an affiliate program. You can promote our stuff and we'll send you money when you promote it. And so Celine, the link is actually on the front page of PeggyMcColl.com, right at the bottom. And Celine, if you don't mind going to the front page of PeggyMcColl.com, go right to the bottom, find the link and post it on the platform. So anyone that wants to become an affiliate of ours, you can certainly sign up and become an affiliate, or create your own product or own offering and then establish that as an online presence. But definitely information is the way to go with that. Inventory, I would probably stay away from that kind of thing, only because you could get stuck with a whole lot of inventory. The next one is from Amy Marie. Peggy, did you start your business with a business plan, and how did you fund your initial marketing and networking? Did you ever go into debt in order to attend events or hire a mentor? Absolutely. I went into debt to hire or to go to events and hire a mentor. And I've done that for many years. I used to do that for many, many years. And the best investment I ever made was investing in myself. So yes, absolutely. And as far attend events and hire. Okay. So yes, to that part. How did I fund my initial marketing and network? Went into debt, borrowed the money to do so. And yes, I did create a business plan, but I don't think that you absolutely have to create a business plan. You can, but I did. And I only did because that's what I thought that was necessary. It was a fun experience. I don't think I ever looked at it again. I think I still have that business plan, by the way. All right, next question is from, I think it's Callie. It's Kalley. What do you do in your spare time when you have done your journaling, when you have done your visualization? What do I do in my spare time? I'm just laughing because I'm so in love with what I do. And I'll give you an example. Last night, my husband went out to play golf at an indoor place here in Ottawa with a friend of his. So he was out for several hours. And I knew he was going to be out, and I had finished working, and I went to the family room, cuddled up with my dog. He's got a blanket, and I read. I just love what I do so much. I did some studying. I mean, I'm absolutely in love with what I do. So I would read. Sometimes I watch TV. I do like watching TV, and I love movies. I love inspiring movies. So that's what I'll do in my spare time. All right, next question is from Tammy. I have an online general store, but it's not doing so good. I don't have any funneling. And is that the issue? Might be. I mean, a lot of people do that. Like they'll put their presence up, they'll put the website up, and they're doing nothing to promote it. Could be that. Could be that you don't have any funnel. You've got to establish relationships. You got to do a lot to build your presence online as well. And then Tammy's asking the question, how do you go about getting free advertising, or do you only use paid advertising? Well, that's a great question, but probably a several hour answer. So there's multiple ways. And I teach people how to do this actually in both my complete author program and in $1 Million in a Month. So you really have to take some time to do it. But I do paid advertising. I do paid advertising. We run ads on Facebook. And I've run ads in different places as well. But mostly we do what's called organic growth, which is online. But there's many different ways to do it. I teach it actually in both of my programs. It's an important question, absolutely essential to anyone's growth. All right, the next question that's asked is from, I think it's Allie. And it says, I am making my book, I'm looking to make my book a bestseller. I know there are certain programs, but unfortunately, I do not have the funds right now to pay for certain courses. I am currently unemployed because this past year, I was my mother's primary caregiver. I was just looking to see if there is any way she can help me figure out a plan of some sort on how to go about writing the book. This is all new for me. All right, I think that she is me. And so thank you for asking the question. I really appreciate it. And I would recommend the course, the Complete Author Program. And you say you don't have any money, but the thing is, if you want to do something, you will find a way. You got to get committed first. Like there were a lot of things I wanted to do, didn't have the money way back when, but I found the money. And I may have borrowed it or whatever I did, but I definitely invested in myself. It's the best thing that you can do. Another thing to keep in mind is writing the book and publishing the book is only 5% of an author's responsibility. You've got to market it. And that's what I teach as well. That's what's in the Complete Author Program. It's not enough to just write the book. A lot of authors go through the same situation that I did. In other words, they write their books and then they think that it'll just make them truckloads of money. And they sit back and do nothing. And it's like, that's not the way it works. You've got to invest in the marketing as well. And that's why I got into doing what I'm doing, helping authors to create phenomenal success from promoting their books and programs and many, many other things as well. Okay, we've got a number of other questions. It's 3:27 right now, but we've got another questions that are coming in here. Marcy says, I'm launching my book and will be a vendor at a conference March 21st. In your professional opinions, should I launch my bestseller campaign before or after March 21st? Marcy, are you in my author program? I'm assuming maybe you are. If you are, follow my formula. I've got a bestseller model that I teach that's part of the program. And there we go. Okay. So I would suggest, Marcy, if you're not in the Complete Author Program, that you check it out. Celine can get you that link. And so that you can, there, she just put it on Instagram. So it's the complete, and it's on YouTube as well. The Complete Author Program.com, the Complete Author Program.com. I would check that out. Okay. Obed says, how can I start a business if I don't have much money right now? Well, you can start right where you are. I didn't have much money either when I started, but I started with the work. You can start to determine what, like, there's a lot of creative work that you can do. What's the business? What is it going to be called? What are you looking for? You can register a domain name. That's $8.29 or something like that. There is a lot you can do just to get started. I would also suggest that one of the things that you do, Obed, is go to amillionamonth.com and download my book. It's free. So start with all the free stuff they can get your hands on, but you're definitely going to be into investing money in a business. Businesses don't grow without investing money into them. Not huge amounts of money. You can do it in stages. Okay, Adele says, I meditate, visualize, journal, and say affirmations daily, but my goal still feels like a dream. What should I do? Well, you're out of alignment. If it still feels like a dream, you've got to feel as if it's here now. So it's a process for sure. It might be that you just haven't gotten there yet, but I would suggest ask yourself this question. Now that my dream is fulfilled, how do I feel? What's most important, more important than anything else, and more important than all the doingness, is how are you feeling? So here's a book that I recommend as well. It's called Feeling is the Secret. Feeling is the Secret is by Neville Goddard. I read this book every day. I read it every day. It's about 25 minutes to read it. And it's absolutely, the title of that book says everything, that you must feel as if you've already attracted the goods that you desire in your life. And when you do, and when you're in alignment, feeling as if it's already there, you are in full-blown law of attraction, law of vibration mode. You are attracting it into your life. You will get inspired with things to do as well. So it sounds like you're doing a lot of great things, Adele. Keep it up and do those additional things that I suggest. I also have on my desk here a little wooden thing that I had created that says, now that my dream is fulfilled, how do I feel? And you might want to just write that on a card. Now that my dream is fulfilled, how do I feel? Put it on a card, put it beside your bed, put it on your desk, put it on your forehead, get it tattooed on your arm. I'm just kidding about the tattoo part. Actually, not a bad idea. I don't have any tattoos, but if I was going to get one, that might not be a bad idea. Okay. And Yasir says, is having multiple goals as productive as having one? I have multiple goals for sure. It's just as productive. Jenny says, what if you can help many people? How do you pick who to help? Don't understand your question, Jenny. That's a great question. Well, help people online. Like, I serve millions of people online. So maybe bring in whatever it is that you have to offer to help people online so you can help people. Like, we're doing this right now. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. This is all free. We're going to save it. We're going to share it again. It'll be posted on my YouTube channel, it'll be on the Instagram as a story for a little bit. It'll be on Facebook as well. And it's content that we can have and create forever. So it can be shared again. So you can continue to help people as well. All right, one more question, and we're going to call it a wrap. Michael says, is what should I do if my partner does not follow through on implementing the dream I have? Oh, well, what I would do, that's a great question, Michael, and I love that you're asking the question, is I would see your partner as if they are on board with what your dream is. And the reason why I mention that is a number of years ago, you see, I've been married to Denny now for 13 years. We've been together 15 years. And Denny doesn't think like Peggy does. We're very different. He's very left brain and analytical, and I'm very right brain and very emotional. I've got left brain too, and he has right brain too, but we're primarily on the we're very different beings, but we get along extremely well, and we really complement each other. So I remember years ago when I had a dream of purchasing a beautiful home that was well over the price of the home that we were currently in at that time. It was about $1 million more than the one that we're in. And I shared with my husband that home was a dream of mine, or something that I'd love to purchase. And his first response was, where's the money going to come from? And I replied with, wherever it is now. I mean, that's really, it may seem like a very silly answer, but the truth is, when you want something and you make a decision that it's already done and you feel as if it's here, you will attract the necessary funds to have it or own it or do it or be it, whatever it is. It's the process of creation. And so when Denny was having an experience of, let's call it disbelief that this was going to happen. And, because in his analytical mind, that's not the way he thinks. It's not the way he works. he wasn't buying it. I mean, he wasn't having any of it. And so I didn't fight against him. I wasn't battling with him and trying to convince him of what my beliefs were. What I did was I saw him being on board. I felt what it felt like knowing that my husband was on board with this idea. I felt the gratitude of knowing that he was absolutely on board. And you can do that. It works, and it worked extremely well. So within a very short period of time, we went to see that house. Denny loved that house, as I did as well. And we bought it. And so that's the process that I went through. So hopefully, Michael, that's helpful for you. Swiss Miss, I thank you as well. I appreciate you. I appreciate Celine. I see that she's acknowledging Celine. Celine is here. She's been with us. She's on all of these calls. She's part of the Dynamic Destinies team, and she fits that word dynamic so perfectly because she's a dynamic person. I just love working with her, love being with her. And also want to mention that we are doing a live event right here in Ottawa at the Hilton Airport Hotel called Masters Manifesting. It is May 9th and 10th. We haven't really announced it yet or launched it yet, but we got people already registered. So we're going to sell out. If you'd love to come to the beautiful nation's capital of Canada, it's the gorgeous city of Ottawa. May's a nice month as well. It's Tulip Festival at that time. You'll get to meet Celine, you'll get to meet me, and you'll get to learn as well the mastery of manifesting anything that you desire in your life. So check out mastersmanifesting.com. It's an event that I co-host with my wonderful friend and very accomplished gentleman by the name of Philip Goldfine, who's an Academy Award winning, Tony Award winning, Emmy Award winning producer from Hollywood. And so he's coming to Ottawa and he'll be delivering that event with me. And so I'd love to see you guys there. Please plan to join us if you can. All right. And we'll be back next week. We've got 3 events scheduled for next week. We'll let you guys know when they are. Make sure you stay tuned, and I look forward to being back and serving you again real soon. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. Bye-bye for now.